Patience is mad.
God doesn't just give you patience like that. He gives you opportunities to be patient.
Ooh,
It
like,
runs through like every single little aspect of your life. Can you share some stories of when your patience is being tested?
Well, I think we got the same thing, fam.
Children. I feel like I don't have enough patience.
But when we are tired, it is so hard to
I feel
be
like
patient.
I can be patient. I can wait in the queue for a long time. Yeah.
But just because it's classed as fast food, don't mean there's a guarantee you're getting your food in 2 minutes.
Like God is just like, bro, you're here in the timeline and what you're praying for is here. Just keep going. Just keep being patient and keep being faithful.
To have patience, it's literally stepping outside of yourself.
It's removing your ego. It's removing your wants and your own desires to fit the other person and what they need. Great is your faithfulness to me. Great is your faithfulness.
All right. We are live.
We are live.
Hello, my wife.
Hello, my husband.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm good.
Good to see you.
All right. We're back. Episode 2. Wonderful. On the Rock podcast. If you're now tuning in to this second episode, thank you very much. We are grateful. Yeah, let's get into it, babe. So, what are we going to talk about today on the Rock podcast?
Well, I think we had a scripture that will base it on what we have to talk about.
What are we talking about?
Which one did we say? Love is patient or?
Love is patient. That's what we're talking about today, guys. Patience. Patience. Listen, patience is mad. Yeah? Mad.
Yeah.
If you know me, one of my guys, like if you're one of my guys, you know how much, or even if you go to my church, you know how much I've been working on patience since I found out about patience.
Yeah.
And it's so mad. It's just, it's so deep. And yeah, man, let's just bring up that scripture and yeah, we'll go from there, man.
1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud. Verse 4.
So say that thing again.
Love is patient and kind.
Stop right there. Love is patient. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's
that's
patience.
the 3 words. Love is patient.
Love is patient. Love is patient.
Today.
So when we talk about love your neighbor like yourself, yeah? And then you take that word love. And then to love means patience. What does patience mean, fam?
Let's get Google first.
What does patience mean, fam?
Let's actually get Google definition.
Because when you hear about patience, you just think, oh yeah, oh you're waiting in traffic, be patient.
Or you're waiting in the line.
Waiting in the line, be patient. Your turn is coming up. But how deep is patience, fam? And this is what we gotta decipher, you know. That's what we gotta get into.
Patience. Doing the matrix just to get the tablet round. Okay, so patience in Google means the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, problems, or suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious.
All right, we're just going to say that one more time because I need to just deep that and process it.
So patience, the meaning of the word, means the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, problems, or suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious.
Accept, tolerance, delay.
No, accept or tolerate.
Or accept or tolerate.
Delay, problems or suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious.
Without becoming annoyed or anxious. So basically, stay cool while you're having problems. Sleep on the boat, fam.
And it is possible.
While there's a storm.
like, I know patience is something that is really hard to practice because, and you know, you see it in your everyday life. Like today, I was at KFC and there's this one woman, who is taking orders from the till, but also packing up the food and giving it for like people collecting. Yeah, one lady, and one man is getting vexed. Like, and the thing is,
So
what he was
muffled,
saying was kind
muffled.
of like, I understand it, because he was like, she was like, I can only do something. He was like, okay, but get your manager, because there shouldn't only be one person here. But she can't do anything. Like, clearly they're understaffed. They don't so it's just be patient. Your food will come. Just be patient. And I was with my mum. And my mum went, this is long. But she didn't mean to say it loud. And I literally looked at my mum. I was like, no, don't do that. Like, because sorry.
All right, cool. From that, let's get straight into it. Why do you think people like that man, or let's say that man, for example, why do you think he's being impatient, waiting for food? Why is he impatient?
Could be like a number of things. Could just be having a bad day. He could have given his patience elsewhere, and now he has none left. Like, he could have been so patient with his child. He could have been patient at the last shop. He could have been patient on the bus. He could have been patient while he was driving in traffic. But now he's like, nah, my day's getting long. Why is my food taking so long? So he feels like he has no patience left to give, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's just an impatient person. Generally, because you get them people who don't like to wait. Maybe because KFC is fast food, it's meant to be convenient, and because it's convenient, you expect it straight away.
All right, fair enough. But here's what I'm saying with that, yeah. So you're at home Sunday, yeah. Mother's cooking, fam, or your auntie's cooking, or grandma's cooking.
6 hours.
You know damn well you gotta wait, fam. Yeah, you're gonna go in there. Where's the food? Where's my food? You must be mad, fam.
But that's what I'm saying. Probably because it's fast food.
But this is what I'm gonna say though. Because you're now saying, for example, it's fast food. Why is it that you think you are entitled to, for example, tell someone to hurry up? For example, you're waiting for grandma to make the food, and you're waiting for this woman to make the food. That's the same thing. You're waiting for someone to make you food. But why is it now you can hold your tongue at home, but now that you're in a shop and you don't know this person,
you lose that respect.
You lose the respect. That's the word, respect. Doesn't matter where you are, fast food or nothing. Like,
respect everyone.
They're not got a title on the door. Oh, come get your food, 2 minutes, guarantee. If that's the case, fair enough.
Yeah.
But just because it's classed as fast food, don't mean there's a guarantee you're getting your food in 2 minutes. So it's like, bro, where's the respect gone?
But realize also that the patience there was a two-way road. He had to have patience for his food, but when he was getting on to her, she had to have patience to not shout back, like, because she is dealing with all of these food orders, everyone waiting to order their food. Now she got a man shouting at her, like, she has to have that patience to not shout at back at him and say, bro, can't you see I'm trying to work?
But this is what I'm saying, yeah, because this is how deep this thing goes. Because of the ripple effects of his impatience, it's now hitting her, and not that she just has to be patient, but now that could topple her mindset. Whatever she's going through, now you got this angry man who's only reason he's angry because he's impatient, and now his anger is coming. How do you know she don't have an abusive husband or something that shouts at her all the time, and now that's triggering the next thing? All because a man can't be patient, fam.
Yeah.
It's too deep, bro.
You did that.
You know how passionate that this patience thing, like, guys, I think I've sussed it.
It
like,
runs through like every single little aspect of your life.
Everything, man.
Everything.
All right, cool. Let's get into it, innit? We got some questions here, so we're just gonna go give you, some understanding of how we deal with patience in some different scenarios, and yeah, bro, how you lot deal with the same things, how you lot deal with patience in these same scenarios, innit? So go on, my lovely.
So the first question that was asked was, can you share some stories of when your patience is being tested?
All right, I guess I'll go first and then you go. So patience being tested. Well, I think we got the same thing, fam.
Children.
Children.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
I was gonna say, like,
that's
I
just the top
can't
of the
narrow
top.
it down to like one story.
Yeah, not a story, but
Like
yeah.
in life, like everyday life, it's children, because they, like, obviously children take up 99.9% of your life. So, and they're not easy. And we have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Yeah, so we've only been in the game for 3 years.
Yeah.
Guys. So but we have 3 years experience of patience.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just mean when they're being annoying, but literally whatever they're doing that we have to be patient with. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
When they're learning to talk, when they're learning to walk, when they're on the potty, when they're crying, when they're having tantrums, when, like, even when they're talking, because sometimes you're having a conversation with them and, like, Ari would, like, I might be doing something and Ari wants to talk to me, and Ari, you know how Ari is, she repeats the same she repeats the beginning of her sentence multiple times. So she'll be like, I went to the shop, because she's trying to get the sentence out. And you're kind of just like, but again, even that little, that might seem so small, yeah, but if I'm rushing her to speak, then she might think, like, it affects her when she's older. She might think people might not want to listen to her if she talks for too long. She might have speech therapy problems. She might be scared to talk to people because I'm always rushing her to speak.
You know what's funny? I saw a video on Instagram of African parents teaching their children maths, innit? And obviously the children that are struggling, and then obviously the African dad is getting more impatient, so he's getting mad, innit? Thinking that the anger will then increase the speed of the student and that, like, the child, innit? But it's like, bruv, it just didn't help, innit? And it's like, yeah, fam, like you said, just waiting for them to, again, just get their answers out. It's like, bro, come on, man. But I feel like because they're children, that's where the battle is. Do you get what I'm saying?
Because you
like,
know you can talk to them a certain way because they're your child.
You have power. You have power and authority. You know what I mean? So it's like,
you feel like you can you might feel like you can abuse it because this is my child. I birthed this child. I can talk to, like, no, you can't. You can't talk. That's not your child. That's God's child.
Oh, let's get into that real quick. Hey, listen. On a real, just quickly, I've been looking at this thing of children, yeah? Trying my best in it. That they're not my child, but they are God's child. And the reason I say that is why? Because when you're looking after someone else's child, how do you treat them? Now I'm going to sit back. If you're looking after someone else's child, how do you treat them?
You have more patience.
You treat them like gold, fam.
Yeah.
Like diamonds. And this is what I'm saying. But when it's your own child or your own little niece or nephew or your own brother or something, do you get what I'm saying? Someone that you have power over. Yeah. You lose it. You ain't got patience. It's just straight shouting or straight power surge of. When
you told me that, it kind of, I think of it differently. Like, I remember when you told me, like, look at her. Because I have a lot. To be fair, though, we do have, I'll give us a bit of props, just a little bit, that we are, like you said, with 3 years in the game of children, and we are learning patience.
Definitely.
But, like, my mum would tell me, like, we'll be on FaceTime or because we're always on the phone together, and she'll hear the children just crying, like, you know how they cry. And she'll be like, Lara, you have so much patience. Like, I don't know how you do it. But then I feel like I don't have enough patience. Do you get what I mean? It's like you can always be better. Like, you're not, I can be patient. I can wait in the queue for a long time. But what about when that one thing comes, you're struggling, what does it say? To not be annoyed or anxious through your struggling. You can always build on your patience.
Yeah, that's good still. That's good. And I wanna hit something on that as well. Something that's kind of deep that my dad told me, innit? So obviously, you know, I have a sit down with my dad asking him, like, right, how did you deal with your children? Obviously, me and my bro, like, when they were that age, innit?
Yeah.
Especially at night time, sleeping, innit? You know, when we're trying to sleep and then the girls are crying or one of them's crying, and it's like you want them to just to sleep, otherwise, you know, they're coming into your bed. So I asked my dad, I was like, yo, Dad, how, when they're crying at night time, what do you do? And it kind of hit me still, kind of made me emotional still. He was like, just bring them into your bed and let them sleep with you. Because one, it will work. and the second one is they will eventually grow out of it. So when he said they'll eventually grow out of it, I was like, right, I'm like, they won't be young forever, innit? They won't be young forever. And I kind of like, let me just kind of embrace the suffering right now. It's not even suffering. It's just kind of like cramped in a bed now, fam. But do you get what I'm saying? That's literally the only suffering, because I'm still going to bed.
Yeah, it's not like they do it every night.
It's just whenever it happens. And it's like, yeah, bro. That's the only, in that situation, the only suffering is a bit of a tight squeeze, because they're fine now. They're not crying.
Your child's,
and my child's calm.
Because it could have been
I'm
a
calm.
nightmare. It could have been.
Yeah, it could have been anything.
Anything that they now feel like. Don't get me wrong. Some children just out of habit just want to sleep in your bed. But with Ari and Maya, it's like they will cry, like, because like Ari especially, like maybe, you know, her cough's irritating her or something. It's like she needs comfort. So she then wants to be comforted. Yeah.
And I want to add patience to that as well in terms of tiredness.
Oh.
When we are tired, it is so hard to
I feel like
patient.
that's when that's when I struggle most. Give me during the day, I'm really, really trying. But when I'm tired and I'm like I've just woken up in my sleep to a child crying, and then obviously because they are crying, they're not making sense, because they're crying and they're tired, and then I'm here tired, and I'm just like, but you have to be the one to hold that patience, because if you lose it, the situation is like 10 times worse.
Yeah, it only gets worse.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when a child goes from normal crying to like, what do you call it? The hyperventilating crying, and they can't stop. It's like, you just made the situation worse. It's
like in everyday situations when if you lose that patience, you're setting yourself up to be annoyed and angry.
Yeah, literally.
Whereas if you just hold it, you'll still probably be a little bit annoyed inside, but learning to just hold that in when necessary, and then you finally get it. It's okay. Whereas
you know, that's interesting that you say that. I feel like it's spiritually, it's like a doorway, isn't it? It's like you've got patience, which is kind of like you've got anger and frustration in the palm of your hand. But the minute you open and let that go, you've given up power to anger just to, do you know what I'm saying? Just run rampant. And with that anger can come many things. Like I said, I heard a story of a woman that beat her child constantly to the point he died. Like, clearly she couldn't handle whatever patiently. Do you get what I'm saying? To the point where the discipline will come constant. And that's like from what? Anger and frustration. You don't do that when you're calm and relaxed. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when you open that little Pandora's box,
I have another story. It's not a story, again, everyday life. I feel like it relates to one of the questions that were asked here anyway. So I'm going to tie it all in together, because I was going to talk about the situation is marriage, patience and marriage, because what was asked was, how do you deal with patience with your spouse? But as well as children, I have to be patient with you too.
Of course.
Because if we aren't patient with each other, then we're not patient with the children. Because it's just a messy household. So how, Raphael, do you deal with being patient with your wife?
How do I deal with being patient with my wife? Let me tell you the ways that I tried to deal with patience before we get to the final thing. Sometimes I'd leave the yard. This isn't advice for you guys to take away.
Did you say try or tried?
No, this is the things I did thinking that this was the best solution for patience.
To clarify, that was past tense.
Oh yeah, I just don't worry about that. So look, these are the things I tried to do to exercise patience. I would leave the crib, I'll go straight in the car and just sit there. Like this is what I thought would be best, innit? Like I'll leave the yard, go in the car and just sit there. I'd leave the room, go into a different room.
You'd basically just isolate yourself.
Yeah, I'd isolate. Not saying that's good, but I'm saying that's what helped me at the time. And because I knew from our past history of clashing, like when it comes to like arguments and stuff, there was no patience. It was straight blow to blow, cuss for cuss, shout for shout.
Yeah.
And so I knew that when you have little arguments, that is a possibility. So what do? I try to run away from myself being there, because you know the anger feeling is creeping. It's always there, like get angry. It's like, nah, bro, let me cut. So that's what I've done, innit? But now, all praise to the Most High. Now, again, I do maybe leave the situation, which is still good, leave the situation. But when I leave, like I said, before I'd go and just play music or something. But now, literally go there and just dwell in the presence of the Lord. Literally just
You
pray.
come
Man
back
is
quicker
praying.
as well.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
when
yeah.
you used to go in the car, I used to be gone for time.
Yeah,
And obviously for me, when he was gone for time, it would make me impatient because I am like, when is this guy going to come in? How did he just walk out the convo like that? Or I'm talking to myself and I'm building up so where you've isolated yourself, now I'm obviously isolated by default. So now I'm building up all these emotions and anger in my head, like thinking he just walked out. Like I'm sure you girls can relate. Like how, like I'm here, I still got more to say, or I'm crying and you're whatever, you're away. Like the argument's not done, kind of thing. But now, like say all praises to the Most High. I feel like it's like we diffuse things. Like it's not even diffused because it hardly gets to that point anymore where it needs to be diffused. It's like you might say something or I might say something. I have learnt to I think we've both learnt not to, like, if you say something that I think is a bit cheeky, I think we've kind of learnt not to say something cheeky back.
Yeah, I think it's kind of
just
like,
hold your tongue.
Yeah,
just
hold your tongue and like check yourself. That's what I do a lot.
Because I feel like my silence for Raph is more than me coming, like, what's the word? Reciprocating it to you. Like if you say something that I think is like annoyed me, I'm gonna give you silence. Like I'm gonna hold my tongue because then I feel like you're like, oh, like she's silent. Do you get what I mean? Rather than me just going, oh, what did you say? Like blah blah blah. But yeah, I think defo patience is like an hourly exercise in
man,
daily
it can come
life.
at any time. And like I said, especially when you're again kind of tired and stuff. But I wanna give something for that as well. One thing I've realized as well that we obviously both realized, but I heard it somewhere in it, and it's like, if I bring you down, I bring myself down. So who wins? That's what I used to do. I used to try and bring you down and think, yeah, I've won this argument. Like I used to say I've done like so like I don't know what do we used to, I used to say something about arguments, isn't it? Kind of like who won the argument or who was right.
You should be like, and if like I feel like I won, you'd be like, oh, you won, innit? Or like you'd
be
be like, you'd say I'd won, or you'd won
that
like
one,
every
innit?
that's what you'd say. You'd won that one, innit?
Yeah,
and
so
I'm
it's
just like
so what I've realized is like now, if I tear her down, I've only torn myself down. Like literally, if you are upset, lad, I'm broken. Woo, I'm gonna shed a tear. No, I'm joking. But literally, like, if you're broken, I'm broken. Why? Because we're in a covenant. We're married, fam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fam, it's my right.
There's no winning. Like,
there's
if
no winning.
If
There's
you've
literally
lost,
no winning.
I've lost. Like, it's as simple as
it's
that.
like if someone else makes you upset, do I not have to come and back it? Why?
Yeah.
Because you're my. Do you get what I'm saying? So why is it that I or anyone has the thought process of I'm gonna break down my own marriage because I want to win. I want to prove this point.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. We still have like arguments.
Yeah, of course.
But it's a thing of, it's not about like, because you said I won, you won. It doesn't mean that there's not always someone who's right and someone who's wrong. But it's not a winning contest. So if me and Raph, let's say I'm in the wrong, and me and Raph have an argument, like he says, he goes, not for long anymore. He goes and he will pray. I might find myself being like, oh Lord, like please help. Like it's kind of like we know when we disperse, it's time to go to the Lord, and then we find ourselves coming back, and then we just talk like, I feel like what you did there made me feel this way, and blah blah blah. You will apologize, I'll apologize, and then we're literally good. And it's not the good as in like, you just had an argument and you're just trying to pretend like you're good. Like we are actually good. And we can actually laugh about the situation like 2 minutes later. No, but again, that doesn't come from your own efforts. It literally comes from, because before when we were doing it with our own efforts, we couldn't come together so easily. We'd come together and we'd like maybe walk past each other, and then slowly someone will make some sort of slight contact, and then the other one will, and then and whatever. But then now it's like,
Yeah, I wanna answer to that. It's like we found the middleman.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, and this is why I feel like, don't shoot me, why a lot of relationships, marriages are failing, because there's no middleman. It's me versus you, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it gets to real peak, it's my family versus your family. But now we've literally found Christ, the Lord, the scriptures, the middleman.
Yeah.
If I'm out of line, let me check myself in the scriptures. If you're out of line, check it in the scriptures. If I think you're out of line, yo, babe, check yourself.
It's like that diagram. I'm sure most people have seen it. The triangle.
Oh, yeah. hey. Conspiracies. I told you conspiracies are coming.
So it's a triangle and it has God here, husband here, wife here. And it says the further you are away from God, the further you are away from each other. The closer you are to God, the closer you are together.
Yeah, literally. And that is it, because the fact that I can be, for example, annoyed, take it to the Lord. I'm not throwing that anger towards the Lord. I'm literally saying, Lord, take this thing away from me. I don't want it. And I want you to give to me what is best for me. So take this anger and give me patience. Remind me of the covenant I made. Remind me of what's most important. Is it to win the argument, or is it to win back?
To stay in unity with your wife. To
stay in unity with my wife. And literally, and that's the power of it. It's no longer like we're joined. Do you get what I'm saying? We're joined, and that's the middleman who ordains everything, fam.
And I feel like patience is also, you see, when your partner we all have faults, right? We all have errors. We all have our own, I'm not going to say demons, I'm going to say sins. We all have our own temptations to deal with, right? And I feel like with relationships now, we want that perfect person. We want a God-shaped husband, like 100% God-shaped, no sin, no whatever. Without even looking at ourselves, we're like, I want a man or a woman who does this, that. But then if they do this, that, but then they have that one thing, it's like, nah, I can't have that. But then I feel like that's where patience is, because like I say, with you and you vice versa, I feel like we both have things in our life where if we didn't have not if we didn't have each other, but we helped each other to overcome it. Yeah. Thanks for helping me with words. Yeah, we helped each other to overcome it through patience, because the things you obviously, we still deal with it daily. It's a daily battle. But the things you used to deal with that you didn't deal with correctly, it was patience to help you with it, to help you grow, and vice versa.
100% agree.
So I feel like it's not just patience in marriages, it's patience in courtship. I'm going to use the word courtship. And realizing that people have their errors, and now not even relationships, friendships as well, family, people have strangers as well, everybody, people have their errors and people have their faults, but that doesn't give you the right to then just like start getting on to them about it. Like if you love them and you know them, be patient, be kind, as the scripture says, and correct them in a nice manner.
Let me add to that, please.
So
I was speaking to my guy, my guy Jamie, and we're speaking, and it's like, you could meet someone, just say you met the love of your life, you think, oh yeah, this is Mr. Right, and you've just met him. Now you're getting to know him for a good year now, this is the point. You've known him for how long? A year. What if this man has had 26 years of trauma up until then? So he's giving you his best side, but he's still got 26 years of trauma in the closet. And so everything's going right. And one day something happens where that trauma slips out. How, like you said, how can you now judge that person when you don't even know the full story? It gets deep, innit? It gets deep. Again, we may be straying away from patience, but I just want to highlight that when it comes to looking for that perfect person, no one is.
No one.
No one
No
is.
one
And
is perfect.
don't you think, if you think you found Mr. Perfect,
Run.
then you better be careful. Because Satan comes as an angel
I don't
of
mean
light.
to say run,
So
but if
be
you find
very
anything
careful.
perfect, 100% perfect, you run. Because nothing in this world is 100. The only, not gonna say thing, the only thing that was perfect on this earth was Christ. 100% perfect, without blemish. That is the only person who will ever be perfect. One day, glory be to God, we will be perfect. But not on this earth. Not in this world will we be perfect. So stop trying to find your perfect person. And I feel like also going back to dating and marriages and whatever, patience runs into that, because you're trying with your own efforts to find the love of your life without waiting on the Lord for your God-given husband.
Literally.
Or God's will for your life with marriage. You're out there on dating sites or whatever, but have you given it to the Lord? Have you submitted that, Lord, I want to find a husband and I want a godly marriage. But you prayed on it, but yet you're still searching.
All right, cool. From that, yeah, where do you think the impatience comes from? I've got an idea. I've got an example.
Go on then. You want
Social medias.
Oh, yeah.
Like we said in last one, when you're looking at other people's lives, you are running out of patience, because you're looking at everyone's lives. Oh, this person just had a baby. Oh, these people just moved in. Oh, these people have moved across the world together. It looks amazing. Now what? You've stopped to looking at your own life, fam. You're looking at other people's. Of course, you're now going to become impatient, fam.
Yeah.
Because you want it now. You're jealous, covetous. It's peak.
No, it is peak.
But it's so sly. You don't even know you're jealous right now. You don't even know you're envying. And this is, again, that's just one factor of why some people are so impatient. Because they feel like they're running out of time. I spoke to one of my guys. He said he feels like he's running out of time. Feels like he's behind everyone else. How can he tell me that? Behind everyone else.
But you're living. You're breathing.
He's literally told me that he's got his eyes on everyone else.
You know, when you say you're behind everyone else, it's like this isn't a race in terms of like finding a wife or husband and having kids and getting a house. And, you know, all of these things is like, it's not a race for you to think you're behind everyone else. Because a 16-year-old could have all of those things. Are you behind her or him? They're 16.
Exactly.
That's why you have to be patient with God's will for your life. He could give you. Look at I'm bad with names in the Bible. Look at who had a child in old age.
Oh, Abraham and Sarah.
Sarah. Yeah, Sarah.
Hey man, this is what it is. Life is
Old
about patience,
age.
bro. It's about patience. Son. You have to be patient. But alright, cool. We got some more questions over here. Got more questions on the roster. On the roster. On the rock.
Sorry, because these questions because we've been going like off course on some questions, we've answered some.
Okay.
What character in the Bible do you think best represents patience?
Well, one. Oh, I can't even say if that's patience or that's just.
What?
I was gonna say Job, innit?
Yeah, that's endurance. But
that's
endurance and patience.
It is. It is, but it's like I wouldn't say it's direct patience in terms of like he knows it's gonna get better because he didn't know it's gonna get better.
Yeah,
he was suffering. So he's not sitting there like it's gonna get better.
He remained faithful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's a different thing. I guess patience. I think one. Okay, well I got one. Noah, innit?
Oh, that's a very good one.
Noah, because he's building this ark, and at the same
for
time,
like 800 or 80 something years. I know, is it 8? No.
Regardless if it's 80 years, 50 years, bruv, he's building this thing, knowing how the world is, knowing how peak it's getting, and knowing what the Lord has told him, and he's preaching, telling everyone, "Yo, repent," and ain't no one listening.
Oh, that's actually
like. That's just one, innit? Like, again, you go read the story of Noah's Ark, man. And really,
everyone thought he was crazy.
Yeah, man.
And he could have stopped building that boat.
Even cool, let's switch it, yeah? Keep on Noah, but if you've seen the movie, of course, Evan Almighty, have you seen it? So you know Bruce Almighty, the movie?
Sorry.
Oh, she hasn't seen it. Hopefully anyone's seen it. But it's basically the story of Noah's Ark, but like modern version. With Morgan Freeman. I don't know if you've seen it. And Morgan Freeman's God in the film.
Yeah, I have seen it.
But that's one is with Jim Carrey. And then one is with the guy from The Office.
And he says to the wife about patience. And he says, what does he say? God doesn't just give you patience like that. He gives you opportunities to be patient. Ooh, that's a word.
That was wonderful.
Because you can't just pray for patience.
Exactly. And
you can't just be like, Lord, give me patience. You have to be like, Lord, give me opportunities where then you, like in that moment, I can practice patience.
Yeah, man, it's all about practice. So yeah, man, it's literally, and in that, like, obviously God has told him, yo, build an ark. Man's losing his job, losing his family, and he's still like, Lord, fam, man's doing this, man's losing everything. He's
being ridiculed.
Through. Mad, fam. But yeah, he was getting embarrassed, people videoing him and that, cussing him out, calling him crazy. But yeah, bro, patience through that. Because again, I call that patience because he knew the outcome. Yeah. So all he has to do is be steadfast and keep going. So yeah, man.
I feel like
Noah, definitely.
Also, when I just spoke about Sarah, they had to wait on their son.
It's a long time.
They had to wait. How long? And like I said, how long did she have to wait for her son?
And this is crazy, yeah? Because we talk about patience, yeah? Look how impatient they got to the point where they said, yo, listen, I think it's Haggai. I think that's the name. They said, yo, listen, my servant girl, Abraham, it's all right if you sleep with her. Just get a child, fam.
And what is that? That's doing things your own way.
Your own way.
That's you saying, God, it's fine. I can make this work. I can find a way to do it without waiting on the Lord. And you find when you wait on the Lord, the blessing is like patience, like folds into faithfulness, and it folds into endurance, and it folds into all these things that the Lord is just like, just wait on the Lord. He will renew your strength.
All right, cool. We'll be here forever.
When we start, we don't stop.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, man. So even that, like, impatience can come, and when impatience comes, what happens?
I had some notes on my phone
the
other day. There was one
on the ting,
and I feel like it's a Mr. and Mrs. question. Who would you say is more patient and why?
You see, I like the question,
but it could get.
But I don't know how you.
It's like, different.
It's different because, like I said, I'm coming from my own place of lifestyle. You're coming from your own place of lifestyle, different upbringings.
I feel like we're both.
I feel like it's the patience in different things, kind of thing. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, man, it's just hard, isn't it? I guess we're all dealing with patience in different ways.
Yeah, I feel like if you were to break it down into different subjects of life, who has more patience, then we could probably say who. Yeah. But in the overall thing, it just evens out because where I start to lack a bit of patience, you have it. Like we just even each other out in terms of that.
Yeah, man. And I feel like your circumstances are very key. You know what I'm saying? If you just had a nice rest, you're woken up, a good breakfast and everything, you're good. But like, imagine you're Esau, yeah? Jacob and Esau. You're coming from a wild hunt from the forest. You're tired. And you're like, bro, let me get some porridge. Like, and my man's telling you, yeah, give me your birthright. And you're like, oh yeah, whatever, take it. It's like, bruv, your patience is gone. You ain't got that there. You know what I mean? And like I said, circumstances, imagine you've had a long day, yeah? You've had a hard day at work and you've just been a stress. Boss has been on to you, everything. And then you come home, yard's a mess, children shouting about everywhere. You're there, fam. You're literally there till where you might just explode. And yeah, fam.
There's a question here, and I'm not gonna answer for you, but I'm gonna see if you come up with the same answer. It's to do with you.
Me?
Yeah. What is one thing that you were waiting on, which you feel like God was trying to teach you patience whilst waiting?
What was one thing? Say that again.
What's one thing you were waiting on, which you feel like God was trying to teach you patience whilst you were waiting? So what's one thing you, Raph, for the last couple years. It's
yeah.
a testimony now because God has
Mm.
blessed you.
Mm.
But you were praying and you were waiting and you tried to do it yourself. And thanks be to God, you didn't go through with it. And now you are in what you prayed for. You are living what you prayed for.
Are we talking about work?
Yes.
We are talking about work. Listen.
Don't
Alright.
disclaim your, like...
No, man, I'm not gonna say in my field. Man's working. That's all you need to know. Yeah, I'm getting out my bed, mate. Literally, man was at my job, yeah? And big up all them people at that job, innit? But I was at that job for years, yeah? Years. And literally, I was fine, calm, doing my thing. But obviously with the girls, you know, Lara moving out, money was getting more and more scarce, you know what I mean? Like, living really on edge, you know what I mean? Needing help constantly. And it's like, I got to a point in it, like people from that job were coming and going. And I was like, you know, it gets to that point where it's like, all right, people asking you, Raph, when are you leaving, bro? You can't be here forever, bro. Like, and all of them, every day, them conversations will happen and it just gets embedded. And it's like, cool. I would apply for this, apply for that. No response here, no response there, no response here. To one point, I applied for a job and I got it. Can I disclose that? Can't disclose that because some people might have that job and big up. But anyways, I picked a job, got accepted. I was going through the process.
You gave
I
in your
even
notice.
handed in my resignation. But literally, and this is how you have to be inclined. Yeah, everyone was telling me, Raph, are you sure that's the job for you?
Yeah, the job in itself is calm.
The job is calm for people that can do it.
But for him and Raf's character...
But for me, like you said, for our character, even my mum said, Raph,
you won't be able to sleep at night.
You won't be able to sleep at night for that job. And you're not probably wondering what that job is.
It's not that. No, it's not.
But it's like, just because I wanted a job so bad, I was willing to do that.
You wanted the money.
Even though for me, my conscience couldn't hack it. I wanted the money. The guy was saying it's going to be good money. The guy said, when you get that money, you won't worry about people's opinion. That's what he's telling me. The guy that hired, man.
And it does not sound like, and even when you told him, oh, my mum told me that, like, as a joke, you told him I won't be able to sleep at night. And he even said, when your paycheck comes in, trust me, you'll sleep. And it kind of sounded like how the devil is. Like don't worry about the people's opinion. Don't worry about what your mum says, even though it says honor your parents. Don't worry about what people are saying. Because when you get that money... Literally,
and it sounded so sweet, you know.
And I feel like we're making this job sound mad. It's a legit everyday job that someone does. Yeah, it just requires
a hard heart. But yeah, if you know about it, if you're watching this and you know about it, you know in it. But yeah. Anyway, so it's got to a point where I'm like, cool.
You were quite disheartened after
I was disheartened because I was like, fam, man just had a job, but it's like, it wasn't for me. It's like, now what, brother? I handed in my resignation, had to tell the manager, yo, bring it back, ain't going nowhere. And again, I don't know how long was going on, but weeks. And I literally, but even from that point, I literally said to myself, this is the pinnacle of the story, yeah? I said, Lord, I'm not applying for no more jobs. This is what I'm telling the Lord. Direct, heartfelt, deep, man's telling him. I'm not applying for no more jobs, yeah? If you send someone to me and say, hey, Raph, I got a job for you, I will know that's the one.
And what happened?
And what happened was...
Hey, Raph,
there's a job there, you know. I said, oh, yeah? And the process of that job was so swift and smooth. And I was just smiling every single time. See, when something
comes with ease.
It comes, listen, you know, it came on the plate just smooth.
Prepared for you.
And even now, yeah, praise report, even now, I've been promoted in that job.
Within a year.
Within a year, man, is gassed, yeah? And it's literally like, again, that's my story, innit? So don't look at me and start thinking, oh, I don't have promotion. Look at the story I'm telling. Look at what I'm saying, where man's come from. And I literally had patience. I stopped applying.
Yeah.
I wasn't going on Indeed no more. Myself, this is for me. This is my story.
You gave it to the Lord.
I gave it to the Lord. I literally gave it to him. That prayer was so heartfelt. It came from the core, fam. And literally, I just waited. I waited. I was so content in the job as well. I wasn't in the job cussing out every day. I was fine.
You went patiently.
I was enjoying the job, fam. And then literally when that came in, Couldn't deny it. Couldn't
The
deny
Lord, the things you're praying for that are God ordained and God's will for your life,
it.
it's prepared for you. It's not like God is like, she wants a child. Okay, quick. Let me, in 5 years, she will have a child. Your life is written out already. It's already, like, God is just like, bro, you're here in the timeline and what you're praying for is here. Just keep going. Just keep being patient and keep being faithful. I've prepared it for you.
And this is what me and my guy was saying, and me and my guy James was saying, yeah? We have this idea of what we want, but the way we want to go there is mad. We just want to go boom. But to get there and actually handle that lifestyle, you have to experience this, experience that. Like, you don't even know how much of a life you have to experience. God isn't just going to
give you something. He's
it's crazy.
Everything is a lesson. Everything is to build your character, build your faith.
It's mad.
Everything is for that. If we just get what we want, again, God becomes a genie in a bottle.
Literally. It's like, imagine being God was like, cool, like you want to be a CEO of a company, yeah? All right, cool, take it. You've got one. Do you know your staff? Do you know your regulations? Do you know the fire hazards? All of these things, bro.
You have to start
all of these things.
Small.
You have to start small, bro. One brick at a time, fam. That way you can say, I know each brick that man's laid. And yeah, man, and it's just patience. Patience, fam.
And back to love is patient.
Love is patient.
Guys, when you're we're going to put you to, like, just for all of us, right? Your everyday life. If you drive and you're in traffic, yeah? I know some of my people are, what's the word? When you
road rage.
Yeah, that's it. You got road rage, yeah? Just try. And just...
It's a challenge.
And when I think it said, what would you do to practice patience? Like, that was one of the questions for us. It's literally speak to the Lord. If you are if you find yourself becoming impatient, literally be like, for example, I'm in a queue, I'm waiting for something, and I'm impatient. I'll just be like, Lord, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait. Lord, I'm going to be patient. The Lord would rather you express your annoyance and give your annoyance to him, or Lord, remove these thoughts from my head. Remove this impatience from me. Man. So that I can show love to people. Because it's just like that, what I said earlier about that KFC worker. You don't know what she's going through.
It came to me.
Go on, I'll let you go.
Love your neighbor like yourself. If that was you in the KFC thing, by yourself, trying to serve up 5-6 customers at the same time, how would you feel? You'd want everyone to be quiet and be like, oh, don't worry, take your time. It's all right, love. Yeah. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
And that kindness can go a really... Like, that's why I feel like the sentence is, love is patient and kind. Because patience is kindness. Like, you showing patience to someone, even just waiting there, like, and like the workers like, oh, I've got to get this, and you just show them a little smile. It's kindness. And you might think, no, like, she's taking long, I've paid for this, it's in my right to get it this quickly. Like, everything is me. It's in my right to do this.
And this is why love your neighbor like yourself. Because if all you're thinking about is you, then look at that person like it's you, fam. And if you can do that, you will master it. The same with children. If you see children crying, look at that child like you are the little child. Would you not want to be picked up and cradled or brought to your bed to sleep? Look at them look at your neighbor, look at everyone like yourself.
And look at how, like you say about the child is God's child, yeah? Think of the patience and grace that the Lord has with us. I want you to think of every time in your life where you have fallen, where you have done something you shouldn't have, where you have cussed someone out, where you have hurt someone, or where you have just gone and done things your own way and forgotten about God. How the Lord has waited on you to come back to him, or is still waiting. If you haven't come back to the Lord, he is still waiting there. It's like what you said. When people say, oh, I feel like me and God are so disconnected, I feel far from God. And I remember I think you said it the other day, God doesn't move. You move further from him. He doesn't. He's still literally there waiting at the door, waiting for you to knock so he can say, or he's knocking. Like, he's just waiting for you. Literally. He's being patient and gracious. So you should be patient. You should then show, because we're meant to be loved. We're meant to show God's love to people. God's love shines through us. We're meant to, that's how people see Christ. It's a fruit. It's a fruit, no?
Yeah.
And people know us by our fruits.
Yeah, you know them by the fruits.
Yeah. And the fruits are connected to the vine.
Yeah.
And what's the vine?
Christ.
Right.
Literally. You can't bear no fruit without him.
Exactly.
That's why you find that, again, most people that are, again, just kind of wild or angry, or they don't have that sovereign Christ over them. They don't have it. It's just all about them. So it's subjective when their morals kick in. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not
about you. Like, you might look at someone and think, wow, they have bare patience. It's not them. Like, it's Christ. It's like, when I am being patient, it's not by my own efforts. It's literally, I'm in my head going, Lord, I'm going to be patient. Like I said, I'm just talk to the Lord. If you find yourself being impatient, what do you say? Bring things under the submission of Christ, under the authority of Christ. Bring all thoughts captive.
Capture all them thoughts.
Capture all of them.
Like, you know, the Holy Spirit is there. Like,
be
he will
slow
tell you,
to
listen,
speak.
Be slow to speak. If you're there and you feel yourself getting angry, grab it, fam. Just literally grab
imagine
that
yourself literally grabbing
literally
it
grab
and dash it.
Because what happens, you think before you speak. Literally, everyone thinks before they speak. It doesn't just come out by itself. Like, what the, like, you get angry inside. It's like a regurgitate, like anger building up, comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, stop it, fam. Literally hold your tongue, fam. Yeah, man. And again, look at the other person like yourself, fam.
So yeah, patience, again, is about tolerating delay, problems and suffering without feeling anxious or annoyed. So we've spoken about annoyed, and we have spoken about anxious, like, Lord, when is this coming? Like, is it gonna come? Am I behind in life? You're not behind in life. If you are submitting your life to the Lord, your life is going where God needs it to go. And also, like, have you made that thing that you're waiting on your idol? Have you made kids or marriage or a job or money your idol? Have you made it that, like, Lord, I just want that, I just want that. But what about what the Lord wants? Have you asked God, what do you want from my life? Rather than, God, I want this for my life. So, yeah, just be patient. Just hold them thoughts captive.
And just
pray to the Lord.
Man. Go and just search. Go on Google. What does the Bible say about patience? Oh, you will see plenty.
Just before this episode, like, we started recording, I typed in patience on the Bible app, because I was trying to find the love is patient verse. I was like, there's gems. But if I start reading all these, we'll be here all day. So do that. Go into the Bible app and just type in the word patience. You will see. The Bible's a manual. Like, we have the middleman, but we also have his God-breathed word there on paper. There, like, just read it and you will see how to be patient.
It's such a great gift to have, such a great fruit to experience when you do it. For example, when a child is crying or being annoying, and you actually put patience into the mix, and then it becomes a better situation, you're just like, why would I even get angry, bro? Like,
because when you get angry, you don't like it. When you get angry, you're like, why? Like, why do I feel like this? You feel
disappointed, fam.
Like, patience doesn't only benefit the people around you; it benefits you.
It's mad.
Like, it benefits you. It benefits your mood because now you've been patient. It's just like, you're calm, you're collected, you're not getting angry.
It's just such a godly trait, isn't it? Like if you lot are inspired by that type of word, like God, like it literally, it's something from God in it to be patient. Whereas anger is just from the flesh, from us. It's cowardice. It's just crazy. There's no power to it. It's just all over the place. But literally, to have patience, it's literally stepping outside of yourself. Like it's one of the most powerful things you can do, fam.
I think, yeah, it's one of the most powerful gifts.
It's
Because what is it? It's love.
It's love.
Love
fam.
is patience.
Literally, patience is love. So if you're in a relationship and you want to show more love to your partner, practice
You
patience.
know what patience is as well? It's removing your ego. It's removing your wants and your own desires to fit the other person and what they need. So you, like with a child or with an adult, like they're annoying you and they're taking long for something, but you're removing your annoyance, you're removing your want for and your desire for things to speed up. And you're like, okay, what do you need in this moment? Like, you need more time, I'll give it to you. You need like more, I don't know, help, I'll give it to you.
It's so powerful, man. And it's something that I strive to master, you strive to master, that we should all strive to master. And literally,
you can never not have enough patience.
Yeah, man. Because situations, like I said, it's so funny the way, again, the Lord will give you challenges on patience, because sometimes he will give it when, like I said, you got full energy. Sometimes he will give you you have an overwhelming day.
I feel like I get it when I'm tired. Like I said, because that's when I struggle most. So I find like when I pray for more patience, like with the children or whatever, it's when I'm tired. It's literally, I find that they wake up in the night more. Like that's when I find they wake up in the night more, because those are the times where I am least patient, when I'm tired. But it's like we should be able to have patience, because if we're able to master that skill, like you say, it's amazing.
I mean, your life will just change.
Your life change is literally life changing. The Bible doesn't tell you to be patient just because God says so. Literally, everything God tells us to do is to benefit our life.
Such a benefit.
So
just remember, like, think about a situation where you was last angry. What if you stayed patient? What would have changed? You get what I'm saying?
Being patient doesn't mean not standing up for yourself or accept, like, just being like, okay, whatever, do whatever you want to me. Like, that's being patient is someone's getting you mad. I'm going to be slow to speak. I'm going to be slow to anger. I'm going to hold my tongue for a second, gather myself together, take it to the Lord. And then I can come back and tell you, by the way, like the way you done that, like don't do that again. You can still hold your ground, but be patient at the same time.
You literally you're just staying in full control.
Yeah, you're in control of your emotions.
You're not giving.
That's what patience does as well, because we find that we always don't have control of our emotions. I used to find that I used to get angry a lot, like when I was younger, or just annoyed a lot or whatever. But then when you learn to be, it's because I was impatient. I didn't know how. I didn't take the time to control my emotions. I didn't take the time to actually calm down. I was too quick to just snap because I was feeling angry or because I was annoyed. Like, and I feel like patience ties into the power of the tongue.
Definitely.
It has life and death. In that moment of you being impatient,
that's what I'm saying. Things will go wrong,
you can speak death into people's lives.
Listen, most people have ruined relationships, friendships, whatever type of relationship, because of a lack of patience.
Yeah.
And in their anger, for example, they cussed and said things that they shouldn't have said. They exposed businesses that they shouldn't have exposed. Like, secrets came out that shouldn't have came out because you couldn't hold your patience, fam.
It's like
couldn't hold the emotions.
You can speak a life when you have patience. Again, and take it back to children. Like with Ari, like I find when I have patience, when I'm telling her off, but I'm still speaking life into her. I'm still like, okay, Ari, you shouldn't. You know that you shouldn't. You're a clever girl. You know you shouldn't be doing that. You understand what this means. You know you shouldn't be doing that. You can do better. That's telling her off, but it's still speaking life into her at the same time. But that's because I've
felt that one, actually.
I've taken time to just breathe a second. And again, that's a skill I want to master, because it doesn't happen all the time. I'm not always like, oh, Wusa, yes, Ari, do better. Like, sometimes I can really go in on her, but then I don't feel good after I've gone in on her, because I look at a little 3-year-old girl staring at her mum crying because I didn't have patience, because I haven't spoken correctly to her in the way that she needs to be spoken to. That's God's child. You're meant to water them with love, patience, kindness, gentleness.
Hey man, patience. You can talk about patience forever, bro.
Yeah.
It covers so much in it.
But
yeah, I definitely feel like that's a whole treasure chest of
so I
gems
feel like
right
the
there.
main bit of advice is just take it to the Lord at all times. Any negativity, hold it captive, take it to the Lord. That's it. And then when you pray for more patience and you find them opportunities coming, just remember you prayed for more patience.
Yeah, initially, and it will grow. Your patience will grow. Like I said, I'm gonna attest to that. It will grow.
Yeah,
it's not an overnight thing, but every situation, especially the ones you fail at, will give you. Again, what did the people say? I didn't take it L. I learned from it.
Yeah.
So it's literally, you think you flopped, but you remember that, and you're like, cool. Oh, no, next time, man's on it. And yeah, man,
we're still growing.
Yeah, man.
Like, if you looked at us back in the day, how long we've been together? 7 since 2017. So that's 7 years. Yeah. Looked at us what 2 years ago, a year ago. Like, you'll find if you go back each year, the patience just decreases and decreases and decreases as you keep going back in the years. And it's the same with the children. And it's my mum will even say, the way I used to be with my mum, I think you even know, like the way I used to like just always be like like all the time, like not mad disrespectful, but I was just, if I felt annoyed, I just felt like I had to open my mouth and I wouldn't have patience with my mother. But now I feel like she even knows that since I've come to Christ fully, she notices such a change in me. And she tells me now I'm the most patient person that she knows. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not bigging myself up like that, but I mean, that's what Christ does. Like, people around you will see the difference. And then they're like, I want to do that. How'd you do that? Tell them Christ.
I said, bro, you handled that situation well, you know. How did you do that?
Christ. But yeah, I feel like
yeah, man. I feel like that was great. That was wonderful. That was wonderful stuff, man. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you've taken things down, and I hope you have an idea of what you're going to do next. You know, in terms of patience, and if you're going to add it to your repertoire of skill set, you know, because again, you've probably had one today. If you're watching this, you probably had one today, and it's like, yeah, man, a situation where you need the patience. And yeah, man, it's a skill for life. So yeah, all right, my wife, that was wonderful. That was amazing. That was cool. All right, you want to close us out this time?
Do we have a script I can read?
A script, you know. This is the news.
Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe,
like and comment,
share with your peoples. You know, this is a skill that we all would like to have in life. So, you know, some impatient people out there, just send them the link.
This can help them. Send it to them, man.
But yeah, thank you for watching.
See you in the next
one.